In this video, I will be speaking about AUD CAD. Now, as usual, to keep the video as educational as possible, we will try to understand where we have the highest probabilities for the next potential move here on this pair. Now, starting from the monthly time frame, what we can see is that we have a market which is currently testing a quite strong level of previous monthly support, turned resistance here, which is currently once again acting as support. Now, as we're testing support, there is a good probability to see a potential rejection to the upside away from this area. We can also notice how we do have an impulse and correction, and in general, after an impulse, if you want to measure the correction, you have to take your Fibonacci from the low to the high of the impulse leg. And if we do that, we can see how we have a market which is currently testing exactly the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement, which is aligning up with this previous resistance turn support, creating confluence of support at this area, which we could potentially reject to the upside. So here on the monthly, everything looks pretty bullish. Dropping down on the weekly time frame, what do we see? Now, from a weekly perspective, we can see how the market is currently testing previous weekly support, which is now turned resistance. Now, until the market will remain below this previous weekly support and resistance, it could easily continue lower. However, as we're currently testing that monthly support, there is definitely the possibility to see a break above this zone, after which more potential bullish price action could be created. However, at least for now, we are still below the zone. Going down on the daily, things get very interesting. In fact, from a daily perspective, we can notice how we have a market which has now created an M pattern. And in general, after the creation of an M pattern, what we could expect is a potential rejection to the upside for the completion of the M pattern at the neckline, which is the previous support turned resistance. So here on the daily, what we could expect is a potential reversal to the upside for the completion of this M pattern at the neckline, which is this previous support turned resistance. So in a situation like this, we just need the CAD to start to get a bit stronger, and AUD CAD could easily complete this potential M pattern at the neckline. So how we could be approaching this move? Now, as usual, trading is reactive and not predictive. The monthly, those are the best time frames from a directional perspective. However, when it comes to confirmations and entries, the best time frames are the intraday time frames, so 4 hour and lower. Therefore, what we could be doing, potentially also with students, is monitoring price action from an intraday perspective during this move to the downside, waiting for the market to shift from an intraday bearish market as we would have to an intraday bullish market. And if the market would shift from an intraday bearish to bullish market and provide to us one of our valid entries, at that point we could be looking for a potential rejection to the upside for the completion of this M pattern at the neckline. Now, if you enjoyed this free analysis education and update, make sure that you drop a like and a comment. It really does support the creation of more free analysis education and updates for all of you. And I will see you in my next breakdown.